Have you ever noticed how the air feels a little different in the fall? The sun shines with a soft golden light and a cool breeze rustles through the colorful leaves. This special time of year is called autumn. It is a season of change and celebration. All around the world, people feel a sense of excitement. Something wonderful has just happened. The fields, which were once full of tiny green sprouts, are now filled with ripe vegetables and grains. The trees are heavy with juicy apples and sweet pears. It is a time for gathering all the good food that has grown all summer long. This magical season is known as harvest time. Harvest is a very important word. It means to collect the crops that farmers have worked so hard to grow. Imagine big, round pumpkins sitting in a patch waiting to be picked. Think of tall corn stalks with ears of sweet yellow corn hiding inside. All of this food is ready to be gathered and brought to our tables. It is a time of plenty, when our pantries and kitchens are filled with delicious things to eat. This abundance makes everyone feel happy and secure, knowing there will be enough food for the colder months ahead. For thousands of years, people have celebrated the end of the harvest. It is a time to pause and look at all the wonderful food that the earth has given us. It is a time for joy and for sharing. So what exactly is a harvest? Think of it like a giant treasure hunt in a garden or a field. All spring and summer, farmers work very hard. They plant tiny seeds in the rich, dark soil. They make sure the seeds get enough water from the rain or from long hoses. They pull out pesky weeds that try to steal the sunlight and water from the growing plants. They protect the plants from hungry bugs and animals. It is a long, patient job that takes many months of care and attention. The farmers are like guardians of the fields. Finally, when autumn arrives, the treasure is ready. The little seeds have grown into big, strong plants. The tomatoes are bright red and plump. The potatoes are hidden underground like buried treasures. The wheat in the fields has turned a beautiful golden color, swaying in the breeze. The harvest is the moment when all this food is finally ready to be picked, dug up, or cut down. You might be wondering, what does Thanksgiving have to do with all this talk about harvesting? Well, they are connected like puzzle pieces that fit perfectly together. The holiday of Thanksgiving, as celebrated in the United States and Canada, is a type of harvest festival. It is a special day set aside specifically to give thanks for the good things in our lives, especially for the food from the harvest. It's a day to remember the hard work that went into growing and preparing the food we eat. The story of the first Thanksgiving in America is a famous harvest story. In 1621, a group of people called the Pilgrims had their first successful harvest in a new land. They had faced a very difficult year. But with the help of their Native American neighbors, the Wampanoag people, they learned how to plant corn and other crops. They learned how to plant corn that would grow well in the soil. When they gathered their crops in the autumn, they were so thankful to have food for the winter. They decided to have a big feast to celebrate. They invited their Wampanoag friends to join them in this special meal. Together, they shared the food from the harvest. They ate corn, they ate beans, they ate squash, and other foods they had grown and gathered. This celebration of friendship and a successful harvest is what we remember when we celebrate Thanksgiving today. It was a moment of peace and gratitude, where different people came together to share what they had. Thanksgiving isn't the only harvest party in the world. People in many different countries have their own unique and exciting ways to celebrate the gathering of crops. Let's pack our imaginary suitcases and take a trip to see some of them. First, we'll fly to Germany for Erntedankfest, which means Harvest Thanks Festival. In towns and villages, churches are decorated with beautiful displays of fruits, vegetables, and grains. People bring baskets of food to share, and sometimes there are parades with floats decorated with things from the harvest. Next, let's zoom over to Asia. In China and other parts of East Asia, people celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival. This festival happens on the night of the full moon closest to the autumn equinox. It is a time to celebrate the rice harvest and to gather with family. People light up colorful lanterns which glow in the dark. They eat special foods called mooncakes under the bright full moon. These are often filled with sweet bean paste or lotus seed paste. Now let's travel to the continent of Africa. In Ghana, the Guy people celebrate Homowo. The name Homowo means hooting at hunger. Our final stop is in India, where many harvest festivals are celebrated throughout the country. One of the best parts of any celebration is, honestly, the food, and harvest festivals have some of the most delicious feasts of all. Since these festivals celebrate just picked food, menus are filled with the freshest ingredients imaginable. In the United States and Canada, a Thanksgiving table is often a beautiful sight. There is usually a large roasted turkey, creamy mashed potatoes, a sweet and tangy cranberry sauce. And for dessert, pumpkin pie, of course. The pumpkin is a star of the autumn harvest, mixed with sweet spices and baked in a flaky crust. Let's go back to Germany for Erntedankfest. They serve hearty dishes for a cool autumn day, roasted chicken or Hähnchen, different kinds of sausages. Bread is very important. Special breads shaped into wreaths or designs, made from newly harvested wheat and rye. In Korea, Chuseok is celebrated, sometimes called Korean Thanksgiving. Families gather to prepare special foods. One of the most important is songpyeon, small half-moon-shaped rice cakes. In the United Kingdom, Harvest Festival is held in churches and schools. A common food is the harvest loaf, often shaped like a sheaf of wheat. Games, songs, parades. Harvest celebrations are not just about eating. After the hard work of gathering the crops is done, it is time for games, music, and joyful activities. In many places, harvest festivals include lively parades. Big floats roll down the main street of the town. Floats decorated with giant vegetables, colorful flowers, and sheaves of wheat. People dress up in costumes and marching bands play cheerful music. It feels like the whole town is smiling and celebrating the successful harvest together. Singing and dancing are also a big part of the fun. People have been singing harvest songs for centuries. Songs often tell stories about planting seeds, watching them grow, and gathering the ripe crops. In some countries, people perform traditional folk dances that have been passed down for generations. In Ghana, during the Homowo festival, people dance through the streets to the beat of drums. Games are another wonderful way to celebrate. These activities bring communities together to share laughter and create happy memories. The hard work of a farmer. When we see a grocery store filled with neat rows of fruits and vegetables, it's easy to forget where all that food came from. We don't always think about the long journey it took to get to the shelf. But behind every apple, every potato, and every loaf of bread, there is the hard work of a farmer. Farmers are some of the hardest working people in the world. Their workday often starts before the sun is up and ends long after the sun is set. They work in the hot sun, the pouring rain, and the chilly wind. A farmer's job changes with the seasons. In the spring, they must prepare the soil, a process called tilling, to make it soft and ready for planting. Then, they carefully plant thousands of tiny seeds. Throughout the summer, they must become protectors of their fields. They water the crops, making sure they don't get too thirsty. They fight a constant battle against weeds and pests that could harm their plants. It takes a lot of knowledge, patience, and dedication to help those tiny seeds grow into healthy, strong plants. What are you thankful for? Harvest festivals and Thanksgiving are all about being thankful. The word for this feeling is gratitude. Gratitude is like a warm, happy feeling you get inside when you recognize all the good things in your life. Think about your day so far. What happened that made you smile? Did you eat a tasty breakfast? Did you learn something new at school? Sometimes it helps to make a list. Your family, your friends. Think about the people who love you and take care of you. Think about your teachers who help you learn and grow. Think about the home you live in that keeps you safe and warm. From the golden fields of wheat to the colorful lanterns of the Mid-Autumn Festival, we have seen how people all over the world celebrate the harvest. All of these celebrations share one powerful idea: gratitude. They are a time for everyone to stop and say thank you. Thank you to the earth for its bounty. Thank you to the sun and rain for helping the plants grow. A heart full of gratitude is the most wonderful harvest of all.